Hello everybody, this is Graham, also known as the Collector75, and welcome to another Transformers review. For this one, I am going to be doing Transformers Generations Fall of Cybertron GRIMLOCK. Right, I've got mixed feelings about this figure. I originally ordered this, well, to be honest, I never actually planned on getting any of the Fall of Cybertron range, bar the G2 coloured Fall of Cybertron Combaticons, mainly because just not really that impressed with what Hasbro's been putting out of late, really. I think, to be honest, I've been buying more third-party or knockoff stuff than actually official Hasbro stuff. That's not because I want to, just because it's just if they're going to put out crap, why should I buy it? Anyway, I was saying that, and then I was impressed with GRIMLOCK in the Fall of Cybertron game, and then I saw that chimungmung.com had the new Fall of Cybertron GRIMLOCK, and I thought, you know what? I saw the pictures of it, and I thought, yeah, that looks got to be good. It's got to be a good figure. Yeah. This is one of those ones where sometimes you do an impulse buy, and sometimes it pays off, sometimes it don't. This is probably one of those times that it doesn't, and it's not because it is a bad figure, but it's just because Hasbro have done their best to make it a bad figure. If this had been made about, I don't know, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, it would have been made a hell of a lot better than they have made it. And I'll tell you why. Let's just, I'm not being totally negative about the figure. It's okay, but it's just they could have made it so much better. The box, I do like the box. I like the box art. For once, actually, they're actually putting out boxes now that I feel the need not to throw away. They're actually pretty cool. I love the box art picture there. I love the Autobot logo, and I love the back. You know, it's got a nice bio and tech spec and everything. So I'm not going to be chucking that box away. I'm going to be starting to keep the boxes again, which is a good thing. And then, unfortunately, you do come onto the figure, and the figure, which I've noticed with a few of the other Fall of Cybertron range, and especially like with the Prime sort of figures, I'm just not going to buy them because they're definitely cheaping out on the quality of plastic they're using, and not only that, they're just not trying. They're just not trying at all. I mean, see, GRIMLOCK should be a great figure. I mean, he looks good. He looks good. What lets him down is that when you turn him over and all you're left with under there is giant holes, and this is what you get when you buy knockoff figures. It's because they cheap out. They think, well, we're not going to use the plastic for that, so we save money, so we just leave a giant hole there. Transformers did that occasionally, but not so much as you'll find on these days. They're just full of gaping holes, hollow panels, and they just look awful. It's giving that sort of really infant child sort of appeal to them. They're not really appealing to anyone over a certain age. And I'm not talking about adult collectors, I'm talking about even children towards your 13, 14, because they look almost really kidified now, which is a shame. But I don't think that's a conscious thing. It just looks like that's just where they're trying to save money on plastic and whatever. Because, like I say, 4 years ago, they would have had a few panels where they would have been enclosed and everything like that. Anyway, that is my only negative thing about this figure, is the giant gaping holes and just the quality of plastic. The quality of plastic does feel cheap. It does feel on a par with a few knockoff figures I've got, which is an absolute shame. You know, I can't understand why. Anyway, I'm going to stop knocking the figure here and actually say why it's actually a good figure. I mean, it looks really good. Apart from the tail, I'm still not quite sure exactly how that's supposed to look. It is a bit baffling, the actual the instructions. Well, to be honest, the instructions do let itself down there. There's a bit in the instructions where it doesn't say nothing about the arms, where you've got to rotate them outwards. But I'll get onto that when I transform it. That pissed me off a little bit. But all saying that, apart from the tail, it actually looks really good. I love the head. Unfortunately, it does come without any of these black lines. I picked those out with some black paint. I actually did it on the back here as well. It makes it stand out a lot better, especially on the head and stuff like that. It's all right. The legs do baffle me as well, slightly. It's hard to get him in a decent pose. Other than that, you can't move the legs here because the way it transforms, you have to tab them in up the top there, so you're not getting no movement there, just his knee joint. So unless you want him looking over like that, like he's running after something, that's fine, but you cannot move that, which is a bit of a shame, and I don't understand exactly why. But there we go. But you know, his little arms are on ball joints, that's always good. It does have the gimmick of his chomping jaws. They've got stuck now. There we go. So you move that back, and you can see them sort of doing that. And then if you push it back a little bit further, he does have the light up head, which is obviously shown in the computer game and everything like that, with his breathing fire. I still don't quite understand. Maybe I just haven't got that far in the game yet, because I know I did stop playing it. Not because it's a bad game, just because well, I just started playing another game. Why is a dinosaur on Cybertron? That does baffle me a little bit. But there we go. But I think the gimmick look works really well on this. It does really light up the head exactly like it does on the box art. So it's actually a good gimmick for once, for what it's trying to do. It's not going to show up too well here, just because obviously it's pretty light. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. There we go. You can sort of see it really lighting up all the head. I think that's actually quite a good gimmick for once. But that's it as gimmicks go. It does come with a few extra weapons that you can sort of plug on into those posts there if you want. And it does have the shield again, which you can plug into the other one. A little bit silly, but you know, it's trying to make use of it. The dinosaur feet do have little claws, which is good, so you can sort of get an extra bit of posability out of them slightly, not too much. You know, it's all right just for making sure he looks like he's on his feet properly. Right, to transform this guy, I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to remember this, because I haven't transformed. I've only transformed it once, and that was into dinosaur mode. So bear with me. Right, we're going to straighten out these legs. This little claw here does rotate out, and that brings out the hand, as you can see, and that bit does fold up, and that's about it. So we're going to do the same on this side. Rotate that claw back, hand folds up, push that little claw back, and then with this bit you can see that it's just going to fold back up, and then you can just keep that like that. It doesn't really tab in, it just sort of folds up. And then we're going to come to these legs. I'm going to do these legs first. Going to separate the legs as best you can, and then I'm going to come around here. I'm going to move my arm around here because it might be a bit easier. You just have to start moving things about. This is on like a weird rotational joint. So you bring that all the way down and into that position. Same with this one. Can't remember exactly how this tail end's supposed to end up. But there, as you can see, his little feet there. You just poke them out. Straighten up his legs. And these do sort of tab in. I can't exactly remember how now. So they come down all this way. They do kind of. Once you get them out, I can't remember exactly this. Oh, that's it. Can you see there is a little, don't know if we're not going to see it in there, just sort of there. There's a little tab there, and it's got to just attach onto the tail, I think. There we go. Once you've got it attached onto the tail, like on that one, he does have two knee joints, which is a little bit annoying. You just push, and they are very tight. There you go, you just sort of push them in. And it does come out there quite easy. So these legs get that weird sort of chicken lookish about them. And it is a little annoying. But he does stand quite well, as you can see. And then I just come around here to the arms. And now, if you come to the back, you can probably see it a little bit better. You can see that they're on these joints here. So you just untab them and rotate them around, providing you get that one out. This is what the instructions decide not to tell you, any of this stuff. It does get caught in. Right, I sort of figured it out. I've transformed this arm. It is a bit confusing, and as I said, the instructions don't actually say what you've got to do. Right, you've got to pull it out, bring this round, and then it really does get a little bit confusing. Right, so you get it out to that, then you've got to bend it. You've got to rotate it, sorry, upside there, and then in here you've got a ratchet sort of joint. You then fold that all the way in there, and then rotate it around. Make sure that does sort of fit sort of flush like that, and then you end up with the arms in this position. These, unfortunately, don't tab in. They just sort of hang there, and it does get a little bit annoying sometimes. Anyway, that is almost the entire transformation done now. As you can see, it's got that classic sort of Grimlock look. Just got one more thing to do. Just rotate this around now. Here we go. Just disconnect it from there. That folds in, and then it just sort of tucks away in there like that. Again, doesn't tab in, just sort of hangs there really. And then you're left with Grimlock in his robot mode, and to be honest, he don't look too bad. If I'm honest, he looks a little cheap because turn him around, hollow legs, and does have to end up with a bit of a head just stuck into the back of him there, which is also just a big hole. It's a shame. But saying that, he looks impressive. I like that detailing on his chest there. I think that looks really good. And he's got quite a good head sculpt. So let me just see if I can just angle my camera back slightly. There we go, just slightly. Don't need it too much. There we go. And then we have Grimlock. There we go. He's got quite a good head sculpt, and he's got a little head on a ball joint, which is pretty good, so you can look around the place and that. It does have the same gimmick. If you reach back on the background there and pull his little thing out, now all his chest will light up. You can sort of see it. It does light up better than that, believe me. And you can see all his abdomen lighting up, all the little lights on there. That looks pretty cool. I love the little Autobot symbol there. I don't know if it's going to pick it out too well. It does have like a little teeth in the Autobot symbol. I think that is actually pretty cool. It does have his thermal sword, so you can pop that in his little hand. And then you can put his little shield in his other hand. You can have it either there. He has a little tab there for it. Or if you wanted to, you could take that out and just pop it up there on his shoulder. If you wanted to. Now, it doesn't look too bad. The only problem you're going to have is those legs, because they're on some strange knee joints. But, saying that, he's got some good light piping. Don't know if it's going to show out too well on here. And it's just a good figure, actually. But could have been a great figure, if you want my opinion. But that's just Hasbro doing their best to not make it a great figure, which I can't understand why. I can understand why if they're just trying to save money on all these silly things that everyone seems to be wanting to do these days. But as soon as you start saving money, then obviously you're going to turn people off, and then no one's going to buy it, and then you're thinking, oh, we should have saved some more money because no one's buying it now. Unfortunately, it's stupid doing that. Anyway, it is a good figure. Just get it if you see it on special, maybe, which is a shame. Anyway, right, this has been Graham, the Collector 75. I shall see you all next time. Bye for now. Thank you.